Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, full throttle faithful. We welcome you to another beautiful night here of racing as we are going to take to the Circuit of America's West Course. 16 turns, 2.6 miles, as qualifying is coming to a halt here. If you're wondering why we're running a little bit late, these road course qualifyings run very, very long. So I don't know if I can sit and hold 10 minutes of your attention without having race cars go around. So I think we would just like to hang out there for a minute and we come in at the end of qualifying here and get things going, as it does look like majority of our field has qualified. We saw 30 cars on the track for practice. Could see more, could see just that 30 cars. What we will see as 21 cars so far are gridded up. But Chris, it does look like we are going to have a very, very, very good field here tonight, as we have about 20 seconds to go here until we get into this race grid, and we will get started with the qualifying grid here tonight, as from the Circuit of Americas here for the Grease Beard Design 40s, or 40, excuse me, as we will see some electrifying racing. I think, Chris, this new track layout here at Coda has made some exciting racing, and all the racing I've seen here done on it, and I think it's going to prove nothing short of exciting here, as we will get to your qualifying grid. I'm going to hurry up and get through these, unlike I did last week. We're going to try to get through this before they get all confusing, as we will see your grid take to the track. I'm not sure where are they gridding at,
Not really sure.
because it says you're on Scenic Cam for me. There we go. As we will get on board here with your group, as we will see Caitlin Height, that number 11 right there disappearing. She will start on that pole position. Wrong car, there we go. And you'll see that number 11 Chevy start off that pole position here tonight. Lady Liberty Motorsports taking the pole here. It will be Caitlin Height. We'll see Ken Baum Jr. That turn two is terrible. Number 2, he will start P2 here. A good road course driver. We'll see if he can rebound after a unfortunate last week turn of events. Josh Susie, who hasn't popped in yet, we'll see that 81 here in just a moment. He will start P3 here tonight. There he is. As we will see David Smill Jr. in that P4. It's a Nitro Road 2, as they will take that third and fourth spot. We'll see Joshua Gaiman, the Lady Liberty Motorsports 33. He will start P5 here tonight, with Brett Strickler starting in that P6 position. Brett Perigo, he's going to start in that 7th spot with Kevin Click rolling off 8th here tonight. We'll see William Hobart in 9th with Michael Zuver in 10th. It'll be Jeremy Zarfos in 11th with William Brown. The two Prestige Worldwide drivers haven't popped up yet. We see Nick Cannon back there, but William Brown will start 12th. And then we'll see Nick Cannon in 13th with Carson Pittman in 14th. Lucas Nilge's going to roll off here tonight in 15th with Troy Wagaman Jr. in that 16th position. We'll see Jimmy Barr in that 17th spot with Kip Easley. He will roll off, excuse me, in that 18th position. Getting back here to that 19th position. Oh, I just had my web browser pop above my screen. It will be Matthew Fitz. He will start in that 19th position there, with Andrew May rounding out your top 20. We'll see Ryan Smith in that turn 2's terrible 21 starting in 21st, with Kyle McCarthy in that Nitro machine. He will be starting 23rd. The whole grid just flipped for me. You're going to have to wait for him to get going here.
I'll go ahead and call it out. As we've got, you were at. Andrew May is going to be P20 with Ryan Smith P21. Kyler McCarthy P22. Steven Overstat, last week's race winner, going to be in P23. Daniel Holcroft in 24th. George Wood 25th. Stan Mayberry 26th. Shane Weldon in 27th. Chris Lynn 28th. Jonathan Coombs 29th. Chad Engel in that 30th position. Robbie Bice 31st, Dakota Kuhn 32nd, Josh Markle 33rd, and Aaron Staub going to round out your field in that 34th position.
Thank you, Chris. It just completely flipped the field for me on my SDK. No way I would have been able to keep up there. Jonathan Coombs is being scored as first for me.
Yeah, a lot of craziness going on here. It'll probably reset itself once it gets once we get here to the line, as I'm seeing a lot of drivers already lapped down. Yeah, Robbie Bison showing him in P2, P3 now. But we see he's all the way back here in the back, so we're just going to flip it around. I'm going to try to get this off the screen.
As we will see the race cars pulled through the last turn. Chris pulled to the front stretch here, as the Grease Beard Designs 40 is almost green. I thought we were, I jumped the gun there. As the grease design 40s at Coda is now green. Jumped the gun a little bit there. Thought we were going before we did. But we'll see Caitlin Height and that 11 machine get off to a good start. Drive it down here. We'll see everybody dive it down here. This is where it's going to be chaos going into turn one. Everybody so far through the top 10s made it relatively clean, Chris. Too wide down here to the S's, though. Ken Bomb, Caitlin Height. This is where all night it's going to be sketchy. Oh, now somebody's spinning. The 13, that's William Hobart, qualified very well to William Hobart, and he's going to actually fall off there. Unfortunate for him.
Yeah, not sure what's going on with SDK. It's saying that it's already lap 2.
It might be because we didn't have a full lap of grid since this is the West Course layout, so SDK might be seeing that half lap.
Uh-oh.
Pace lap, you know what I mean?
Uh-oh.
It should be fine. Just know it'll be a lap behind. You're going to see the white flag. We will remind you guys. We'll remember that.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out the grid. It looks like the grid is completely flipped around. It looks like William Hobart and George Wood going around again. I'm trying to keep
I
an
see
eye
the
on
grid as well. It's being scored all sorts of wacky on SDK here.
As we'll see, maybe once we get around this lap, hopefully
it might fix itself. Yeah.
We're going to ride on board here with the leader just so that way we don't get super out of whack, but looking like that 11 machine, Josh, giving that to a Ken Baum a run for his money on these road courses.
Yeah, Chris, but only lap 1 here, so we can't get too overzealous with who we think might be the faster car. We got to see how this is going to play out here. And no, I don't see the timing. Oh wait, this line they got to cross, I think, right here. Yeah, maybe the timing will fix itself. No, nothing. Man, what is going on with the timing right now? So is it showing up on the ticker that they're being scored in ninth and all that?
Yes, in ninth
Yeah, that's
position.
weird.
Yeah, not really sure. I'll see if I can reset my SDK, see if it might fix it. So just give me 1 second. That's the only thing I can think. Oh, just heard that. Yeah, I fixed it.
And I'm going to have to reset my SDK because I'm still seeing it all backwards.
All right, yeah, I'll have to see if I can reload it into the sim. Looks like, there we go. It's going to say lap 0, so I'll have to
fix that for me as well.
So we'll have to keep up with the laps. This is actually, what, lap 2?
Yes, this is lap 2.
So we're going to have to add 2
reset
to our
the laps. Is there not?
Yes.
Is there not a way you can edit that?
No, there is no way I could edit that.
It's kind of weird.
Oh,
well, now next time we know, just instantly reset.
Yes, on a road
SDK.
course.
But gonna continue going here.
Always a hiccup. Oh, it looks like Steven Overstat around. Looks like might have just. I see a lot of off tracks. I'm just gonna have to keep checking because a lot of these are going for when they just drop one single tire off of the course.
Oh yeah, and it sees off track is putting your right sides over that rumble strip. So I tried driving here earlier, learned real quick why I stopped racing road courses.
Well, good line there.
Especially in a stock car, man. Whew. I'm not good anymore, Chris. I am what the kids would call washed.
So we're gonna ride back up here.
Ken Baum Jr. fastest lap that last time, Chris.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Sorry about that.
We're gonna see them, him and Caitlin Height pulling away from the pack a little bit. David Smill doing a good job up here in 3rd place. We see right here. This is the new corner where they shorten the track. I do know that little
this is a fun corner.
Is really fun, but when you get right here, it's still even without going down that straightaway as fast as you can, this corner still is not fun.
A lot more manageable though. You're not really having to brake from a football field away anymore, which is nice.
As we're just gonna kind of cycle through the field right now, riding on board here with Kevin Click. One of the drivers that is sponsoring the race, Turn 2 Terribles. So the Grease Beard Designs 40 here at Coda is actually brought to you by Kevin Click in that 25 machine. So I want to go ahead and throw a thank you out there to that 25 for giving us a sponsor. It looks like Steven Overstat came down pit lane. Looks like might have went ahead.
He's going to manually disconnect. Yeah, he's going to manually disconnect.
So a lot of drivers I see going off track. But like we said, as you saw, Tip Easley there, he went all the way across into the gray part of the track, as you see up there as well.
And you can get slowdown and yields.
Yeah, Brett Perigo running really wide. Those are going to be the things that really confuse us here at these road courses.
Woo! Brett Perigo getting a little bit touchy there.
Yeah, we're going to go back up here.
Or Nick Cannon, excuse me, machine.
We're going to go back up here on board here with Caitlin Height, though. We're going to see that battle for that first position. Still on that back bumper is that 2 machine of Ken Baum. So
let's ride on board here with Ken Baum.
I was going to say, your last season's race winner, we should ride on board with him. Or
see what it's like to chase around this track. These are the 2 fastest cars out on the racetrack at the moment. As we go here onto the helmet cam, cockpit cam of Ken Baum Jr. You'll see him crank it through this right-hander, put those right sides. As you got to get to the inside here, set the car up to get to the outside of the corner here to really turn it and get as much as you can in that entry to the corner here. And as you roll through the ending part of the track here, this is a very awkward section. You like to speed through this corner a lot and really run it out wide here. It's very, very easy to do. You'll see Ken Baum Jr. is getting a good run here, just not able to really carry that speed on corner exit. It's a beautiful thing about these road courses, man. It's, you know, a lot of these people are fast on these ovals, but then when you get on the road courses, it really puts a different meaning to fast. So you got to see this momentum carried over the lap so much. It's just insane. One little hiccup, I mean, just like an oval, one little hiccup can mess you up. But here on the road course, one little hiccup can spell disaster for the rest of the night. I mean, you lose just a few seconds of time on a road course. I mean, it's night over. Or it could be night over, I should say.
Let's go back here.
Let's go back here to Josh Susie. No, you're good. As the 81 missed the Daytona race and has been on a fast pace here, just not able to put a solid finish here in the last week race at Atlanta. But we'll see what this 81 is able to do here tonight. We know he's fast on the road courses as well, clearly, in that 3rd qualifying position here tonight. But he has lost position to Brett Strickler, the Turn 2 Terribles 38 at the moment. But it could be one of those things. We know how Josh Susie likes to save those tires on road courses, Chris, and manage. So he's given Ken Baum a run for his money. We know at Watkins Glen last year it was a good finish between those two. Both on different strategies. It was fun. So expecting to see the same thing here tonight at COTA. All these drivers with very similar times in practice. We saw some very close times. So the field is definitely running a lot tighter than I was expecting here. And I think this is going to be a very competitive race, Chris. And like we said, just one of those hiccups from Caitlin Hyde or Ken Baum up there could spell disaster for their night in the way they don't want it to go here, getting themselves in a little bit of traffic. So got to be on your P's and Q's here to track like COTA.
Yeah, you know, one of the things that we were also talking about preseason, Josh, you know, getting to see new drivers come in here and see how they were able to handle what's going on. And it's going to show you, Caitlin Height's showing you, you know, at the beginning of the season, I want to say it was Josh Susie said, keep an eye out. Well, like I said, and if we didn't know who they were to look her up, well, like I said, she is the real deal out here showing our last season champion a run for his money.
Two-time champion.
Yeah, back to back. Giving him a run for his money. So that's what I like to see. Looks like David Smill might have had a little bit of an incident. Yeah, no, it looks like David Smill might have had a little bit of an incident. He's fallen back a couple of positions. So he's now fallen back to 7th. Was in that 3rd position there for a minute, but that 27 Nitro machine just maybe running off course a little bit. As I see somebody, it looks like maybe Michael Zuver. It looks like he was cutting it really wide back there, but flying through that corner is that 96 machine. Then you see right behind him is your 3rd place finisher last week, William Brown. Snuck it away from his teammate, Jonathan Coombs, right there at the line. That's what I love about Atlanta. You can just sneak things away from, sneak that position away, and that's what he did. So, you know, like we were saying also, William Brown showing a lot of talent these past couple of seasons. You know, especially last season, we were talking about, you know, probably one of the most better formed drivers that I've seen in the Full Throttle series, to be completely honest. Him and Matthew Fitz, really one of the 2 drivers that have come to show a lot of talent.
Yeah, speaking of talent, Chris, we're right here on board with this 33, Chris. Josh Gaiman has been a driver all season. Last year, I would say halfway through the season when he joined towards the right before the championship playoffs of last season. Whoa, that rumble strip is extremely loud.
Yeah, I heard that through your headset on
Goodness.
Discord.
Yeah. I need to turn that down, man. That was crazy. But what I was getting at here is we know how talented he is, man. Last season, led a lot of races, led a lot of laps, just wasn't able to put it together. You know, it seemed like he was having trouble with his tire issues last season. But this season so far, man, that gaming machine has been a guy that's qualifying in the top 5 3 races in a row now. This 33 can't be taken lightly either, Chris. And really, none of these drivers here this season. Now, I said it earlier, this road course race already seems a lot more competitive than a lot of the road course races we had last year. And just look how much we have in the field, Chris. It's just one of those things that each track is different. And Coda seems we have Caitlin Height on her level here tonight. That any track here or this season that's a road course could spawn that next driver that we see. It's what's so awesome about these road courses. They give all these different drivers an opportunity. You know, we know Caitlin Height is fast on the super speedways. She proved that at Daytona with good speed, good pushes. We know she's fast on Atlanta. She had good speed, good pushing there. So she's got speed on the 2 miles, the intermediates, the smaller super speedway, if you want to call it. And clearly she's showing speed here on the road course. So it's one of those things, like you said, Chris, new drivers are popping up and new drivers are making names for themselves. And it's things we like to see here in Full Throttle, man, becoming a very competitive season so far.
Yeah, something, that we were talking about, like, again, preseason was, a lot of drivers, a lot of new names that were going to be in the series. And that was something that really excited me. Was because anytime you get new names, that means, it's either good or bad. But I'm coming to tell you, a lot of this is turning out to be really good. Our road course race right now, we've got 34 drivers on track. That's, that just goes to show you that these drivers are really stretching their legs out and trying to show, hey, we've got the talent. We've got the other drivers that have got the talent. So that's what we like to see here. This is just going to show you that Full Throttle League's starting to come together. Whoa, is Brett Strickler getting a little loose there?
And the top 5 all running in the same laps right now, so it's one of those things. They are definitely showing speed, man.
We're just going to kind of cycle back here through the field, let you see where everybody's kind of sitting right now. I do see Troy Wagaman Jr.'s moved himself up 4 positions right now. Nick Cannon still sitting. Whoa, as I say that, Nick Cannon getting on the brakes. Going to keep it underneath him. No, keep him under. Oh, my goodness. Keep it underneath him, though. Going to lose a couple of positions there.
At least big lockup now, yeah. Now he's trying to make up time. He's going to be driving a little buck wild here for the second part of this lap. He's going to have to kind of calm it down and get back settled in. It's a big no-no to get out there on the grass, but it happens, and Nick Cannon's going to have to keep rolling here. As you'll see William Hobart here in this 13th machine. We were talking about how he had a pretty well qualifying. He did. Qualified in that, 9th position? And then, yeah, 9th position, excuse me. As he qualified in 9th, and he has rolled back to 15th. Looks like maybe a spin or something. Yeah, that spin we saw earlier caught him. As we go back up here on board with our 2, I would say, race leaders. I mean, Caitlin Height and Ken Baum Jr., they are holding the pace of this race. And look at that, Chris. Already starting to pull up on lappers. Not something you really see here at Coda too much.
Yes, I want to say that is the 98.
Shane Weldon.
Shane Weldon Sr. You're going to see him go really wide there. Oh, man, just thought he was going to go a little wide, but went really wide. But yeah, I was going to say, I also saw the 12 of Jimmy Barr. He just came down pit lane, now on his way out. Looks like he was only down for 3.93 seconds, so maybe just a fuel and go for that 12. Because we know no cautions here, only locally enforced cautions. So if you have a spin right here, it'll only be in this corner. And this corner only, once you get around that, whoa, as we say that, we see behind him, it looks like somebody going around back there.
Not sure who that was. I didn't even see it.
Yeah, as I saw
you
somebody
saw it,
just
and I didn't.
Yeah, just somebody. It looks like they were Tokyo drifting back there a little bit.
It was a random camera of a amphitheater.
Well, right now is coming to lap 13. We're still seeing Caitlin Height out in the lead. Ken Baum still on that back door, trying his best to get around that 11 machine. man, she is not making it easy. Doing her best Ryan Newman impersonation, just making it ever so slightly wider than.
I was about to say, driving in the right lines, man. Putting the car exactly in the right place, but putting the car in the right place and making it wide enough, like you said, it's having to force Ken Baum to go to the outside, and clearly in turn one, you're not making the pass on the outside unless the inside lane's at one of those big stack ups with like 6 cars and there's somebody spinning in the middle of them. So it's one of those things that Ken Baum Jr. is really going to have to find speed somewhere, or Caitlin's just going to have to make a mistake, which can be easier said than done. I mean, it's one of those things. She does have an immense amount of pressure behind her with that mirror, but she seems very experienced here on the road course, Chris. Very experienced on the other tracks we've seen her all through the season. And if you notice how smooth the braking is, the steering, the throttle input back through the gears, that's a very experienced road course racer. I think Caitlin's got that number 11 machine in good hands right now. And it's looking good for that stake number 11 Chevy Camaro. She has been the class of the field here all night. Led every lap, 10 laps so far. Going up to those lap cars, that was like the 41 machine. Do we have a 41? Might just be running accidental liveries. We know people don't change their liveries sometimes. That's actually the 48. That's Stan Mayberry, excuse me. I just saw the 8 as a 1.
Yeah, there's a couple of drivers.
I think that's George Wood going up the hill.
Pit lane, yeah, that is George Wood. You are correct. You're going to see that 68 machine just run it wide there. Let those 2 drivers get by him. We're going to kind of, like I said, cycle back through the field, just see what's going on. This battle for that 3rd place. Brett Strickler's still hanging on to it. Moved himself up 3 positions. Now in that 3rd spot, you see Josh Susi, that 81 machine, who is, we also know, is a very good road course ringer. Sitting in that 4th spot, lost a position to that 38 of Brett Strickler, so only lost 1 position right now. But then you see his sister teammate, Joshua Gaiman, right behind him, who, like you were saying earlier, Josh, also one of those drivers we know is a very good road course ringer. Whoa, as you see Kevin Click getting a little loose out there in the artificial turf.
Yeah, these cars are going to start getting a little bit dicey here. They are starting to use those Goodyear tires up. You're going to see them getting a little wishy-washy, a little fishy here. The rear end starting to step out on acceleration. As you see Michael Zuver, the 9 of William Brown there, that's 9th and 10th position. As you roll back here to that turn 2 terribles, number 29 of Jeremy Zarfos. As he looks like pretty much your top 6 are still running the same lap times.
Yeah, as I'm watching.
But after that, it seems like I'm seeing some big fall off, Chris. 138, 139, 140. Seems like from 6 on back, they're starting to struggle with their tires a lot.
Yeah, I'm watching right now. You know, we are going away from this battle for the lead, but it's not really a battle for the lead right now. I've been watching it. It stayed about a half a second away as I see Jonathan Coombs looks like he might have an issue. Maybe I say issue. It says crashed, and every time I click on them, they're just driving. Oh, is right there, Josh Markle? It looks like he might be slowed down, just letting everybody get by him. So the 82 machine now getting it rolling back underneath him. So yeah, it looks like maybe just letting everybody get by him. Oh, this looks like Kalen Height coming up on the 28 of Robbie Bice. Robbie going to take the inside lane.
Oh, and Robbie's going to open the lane there. Yeah, that opened the lane maybe for not. Ken's not going to stress the issue.
He didn't take
Ken has more respect than that, and he's not going to go in there and just put it to the 11 like that. It's one of those things. He can apply the pressure, but he's definitely a Mark Martin kind of driver. He's not just going to go in there and wipe you out at lap 12 for no reason. And he's not going to go in there and wipe you out probably at lap 39 for no reason. I mean, oh, are we at lap 14? It says lap 12 for me on iRacing. On iRacing, it says lap 12.
Okay, so then we are at lap 12. All right, cool. Glad I didn't have to add anything. I thought that maybe whenever we messed it up, like whenever it reset it.
Just going to say, though, I wouldn't think Ken Baum's going to go in there and just absolutely try to use up the number 11. He's just waiting for an opportunity or a mistake, and he will try to pounce. But like I said, I don't know if the 2 is either just, waiting for that opportunity or if he is kind of just stuck in this air pocket here where it's like, hey, I can see the 11. I can get close to the back bumper in the corners. I can get there, close on corner entry, but just can't really find the speed on corner exit to get there on corner entry of the next turn. So we'll have to see what Ken Baum Jr. does here in that 2 machine. It's a very interesting race. They've done a very good job. But speaking of very interesting, Chris, they didn't want to draw Susie all over the back bumper there. The 38 of Brett Strickler's. They were coming down the hill and into the S's.
Yeah, I thought that was about to be
seems like
a
that's
pit
going to
maneuver.
allow. That's going to allow Josh Susie to re-get that run back up. As you see, who is that? Kevin Click behind Joshua Gaiman. This has become a 4-car battle here for this 3rd place position.
Oh, as Robbie Vice goes wide, 38 goes wide. Let's see if that slows him up. If Susie's going to not, it looks like he's not going to attack. I was going to say, every time we see these guys go wide, it's just whether or not they're going to attack. We see Susie, it looks like he's taking an...
Going to try to use this momentum to go back under here. It's going to work for the moment, but now he's going to have to use the outside lane here, really work Brett Strickler, but he's going to drive it in, Chris. Big driving from the 81.
No, not going to make it.
It's just not going to stick there.
As I'm watching this battle for the lead, as I said, still about a half a second out. So if I see that get any closer, we will go back up there on front. As we'll just go back up here real quick. Just see, this is about the distance they are staying right now. So if I see that get any closer, we will go back up there. But right now, a battle for position right on the track is for, it's the 38 gets pushed majorly into the corner. Looks like maybe the 38 of Brett Strickland might have saw Chris Lynn up there and just got on the brakes.
Did the 81 even touch him, though? Or was it just he saw Chris Lynn and freaked out? Whoa, Chris Lynn's going to still Joshua Gaiman the 81, and the 81's just going to drive the 32 out there to prove a point, it seems like.
Woo.
To me, that's what that felt like.
Yeah,
you ain't going to let me get through. All right, but watch this. I'm going to open the elbows up, open the brake pedal up a little bit. We're going to let you take a ride to the outside of the track. I wonder what happened there if the 81 and Brett Strickler made contact. I don't think they did. I think, like you said, Chris, he just saw Chris Lynn there and got a little spooked, not sure what to do.
Because right now, your current biggest mover in the top 10 is that number 4 of Carson Pittman of Full Throttle Racing, doing a good job here tonight. We've seen over the last few seasons that 4 machine has definitely improved behind that machine, and it's going to show you. Like I said, moved up 7 positions right now from his 14th starting position. So good drive here for that Carson Pittman machine. Whoa, as I see somebody turned around there. I don't know who that was. Oh, it's the 32 of Chris Lynn. Looks like he's going to keep it going, though. Go back up here on board with Caitlin Height as I saw the gap stretch out to about a second. So it's going to show you that she might have actually had a little bit of help from whoever there is behind that 2 machine.
Or the 2 could have gotten loose. Not sure what happened.
Or the 2 could have gotten loose. I want to say that is the 95 of Daniel Holdcroft, or Dakota Kuhn, excuse me. Names were right next to each other.
I was about to say, if he's messing up Ken Baum Jr., then they're going to have an issue in that Turn 2 Terribles Discord.
I know, that's what I'm saying. But it looks like, man, just look at that, Josh. That gap was really wide going down the backstretch, but look at how much Ken Baum's already closed it up.
Ken Baum is flying up, so maybe he does have a car, Chris, that could be capable of... Clearly, he has a car capable of catching back up to Caitlin. And I would say by that speed, maybe he does have a car to pass, or he's just kind of hanging out. Who knows, though? It could be Caitlin is also... We are seeing some really big tire fall off here. She's been leading the way there, so she's going to have a little bit more of that tire fall off. I don't know, the 11's just so smooth on her inputs. It almost makes it seem like she's going slow. You know what I mean? When you're watching it from this camera, it's like, oh man, she's not moving this. But it's just how smooth the inputs are of the race car. You're not seeing that wobbling. You're not seeing the looseness. Like, oh yeah, you know how you see everybody getting loose and they're driving that thing. Well, she's just got very smooth inputs, and it's almost making it look like she's out there on a Sunday drive compared to these other drivers. Because, when we went on board with her, Chris, I mean, you could see in the steering inputs, it was very, very smooth, and it seems like it's gotten no different. Just very smooth on the inputs. You know, you got none of that wobbling around, the rear end jumping around, not slamming into the big turtle curbs. Just very smooth on the inputs, Chris. Almost like we said, on a Sunday drive, and seems very comfortable here out in the lead for that 11 of Caitlin Height.
Yeah, as we're looking on board here, whether you can see up in that top middle of the screen, you see that rear view. When we were first on board with her, you know, that two machine was right there in that back bumper, and now look, she's
no wheel spin either, Chris.
Yeah, I was gonna say it. It doesn't look like any kind of wheel spin, any kind of trying to fight the car. Not
and I'm
really
not hearing any types
mistakes.
of lockups. Man, I mean, that is very smooth inputs there for the 11. But that Tua Kinbaum Jr. keeps catching up. You got to think maybe he might be using his tires up a little bit more. Who knows? You know, maybe we could have this whole thing backwards here. We keep saying Kinbaum might have the fast car. He might be able to be the one that's just waiting to pass. But the 11 could be sandbagging just as much, and the 2 could be thinking, man, I'm trying my best to keep up. You never know what's going on here. So it's one of those things, like we said, we're just going to have to see how this race progresses. But right now, I'm loving how this race is progressing. 2 very hungry drivers, clearly very experienced road course drivers, putting it out there in these stock cars here tonight, and it's looking very fun. Very entertaining, too. More fun than anything. I would love to be racing up there like that. You know, when you see the drivers race like that, there was our first lockup there. You could see it a little bit there from the blimp cam, as it looked like the 11 did lock up going into turn 1 there, the right front. So that's one of the first times I've seen her do that tonight.
I was able to get the track map working. I could not get it working at the start of the race, but have got it working. So we do have the track map up on the screen now. If you do notice, you will see the numbers of the drivers compared to where the leader is. So just so that way, if you are looking for your numbered driver, you'll be able to see them. Also, like you were saying, Josh, you know, she's hitting her marks right now. You know, and Ken Baum, you know, I don't know if it looks like he's trying to play catch up, but it kind of looks like he's having to play catch up right now. I mean, almost a second gap between them two.
But you can't hold it to these drivers, Chris. They are humans. Mistakes can be made. Not saying they will, not saying I want them to. Just saying, you can't hold any driver to perfection right now. As much as we're giving Caitlin her flowers, she deserves them. She's doing an excellent job right now, 17 laps into this race. Because heck, could barely even make it through 6 laps here in practice before I took my rig down earlier. So
I couldn't even make it through the out lap. So I made it through maybe the S's back there before you went down. Yeah, I'm terrible at road courses.
And if I'm not mistaken, my time on fresh tires was as good as Robbie Bice's last lap on 17 lap tires at a 144. So I just showed you how bad I was running here.
I
was all over the place, man. I was all over the place. Well, also too, you know, I got the new shifter and everything, and thought, oh, it'll work like the old Gen 4 cars. But I forget these are sequential dog boxes, so I can't use my.
Oh, as I see smoke. Saw a lot of smoke.
That was a blue car. Yeah, I was gonna say, it might have been the 07 of Jonathan Coombs. Oh yeah, he is locking her up big time. That's how I felt going around here earlier, man. And like I said, I was on fresh tires. Somebody's in the dirt. 22 Andrew May.
Looks like he's got it underneath him, though. It's like I said, Caitlin Height still got about a second gap, so just kind of seeing who's got the closest battle on track right now. It looks like Lucas Nilges is actually coming up on, Kevin Click is about to be battling Lucas Nilges for position. So that right now, this is currently your closest battle on track for that 9th position. See that 25 machine all over the back bumper.
I want to know what happened to Kevin Click. He was up there with the top 5 pack when they were running there earlier. Chris, Susie, Gaiman, and all them. He was up there with that pack, and then has fallen back all the way here to 10th. So It just seems like Kevin Click is starting to maybe get a little bit of that tire demon coming up and grabbing him. Because you know how it is with tires here at these road course, Chris. Sorry, once they go, you know they go. And now I'll let you go, I promise.
No. Like, just saying, you know, one of those things that you have to watch out for is also everybody out on track, you know. Not everybody hits the same line. Not everybody drives the same, you know, the same way. Not everybody has the same braking points. So you really have to adapt to what's going on around you. And sometimes that can be, it's not even your fault. You know, it can just be something that goes on on track that pushes you off, and that could have been just what happened with that 25 of Kevin Click. But as I thought Ken Baum was going to keep going wide. But right now, it looks like they've pulled out to about an 9-second gap between Josh Susie, and then you see behind him is Josh Gaiman. He is still on the back bumper of that 81, trying to hang on to that position. It looks like David Smills moved himself back up into that 5th spot. We know he'd fallen back down to about 9th. He's now moved himself back up into that 5th spot. William Brown lost, I want to say, 1 position. He's now fallen back to that 6th spot, but moved up 6 spots from his starting position. And then Michael Zuvers moved himself up 3 positions, with Jeremy Zarfos in that 29 machine. Moved himself up 3 spots as well. Lucas Nilges, as we were saying, battling with that 25. As I say it, 25 going to run wide. So that's going to allow Lucas Nilges to just pull back up into that 9th spot. And Kevin Click going to have to reassess his situation here and see if he can attack it in a better way.
Yeah, just missed the brakes there.
As we got Carson Pittman in that 4 machine in the 11th spot. And we see William Hobart. Looks like maybe Robbie Bice having a little bit of an issue. I saw him on that inside, or maybe he's just letting everybody get around. And see 69 of Matthew Fitz moved up 6 positions into that 13th spot. Brett Strickler in that 38, who was riding in 3rd position for a very long time. We saw he had that little bit of an issue coming out of that last turn into the last straightaway, and just hasn't really had any luck since then. Kip Easley moved himself up into that 15th spot, up 3 positions from his starting spot. As it looks like Caitlin might be losing a little bit of a time to Ken Baum now. It was about 1.25 seconds out, but she's driving up on lap traffic. This might be the thing that Ken Baum needs. You see the 24 there of Kyler McCarthy, and then the 32 of Chris Lynn. Let's see how this goes. Oh.
Yeah, this is a mess. This is a mess. The 11's thinking, let me. Whoa, Chris Lynn. Whoa, Chris Lynn.
Well,
at least the 11 got away with that. And that's going to bring Ken Baum Jr. down pit road. He's just going to say, get me out of this chaos. I don't want to be there. You got to be thankful if you're the 11 camp, man, because that could have been big time for her. Because Chris Lynn was just not faltering. He was racing that 24. He didn't care. He was going to race that 24 or 4 position, which he's allowed to do. Nothing wrong with that. But right there, it's just one of those things. You got to watch out sometimes when you got the leader and the second place for driver racing right behind you. But you got to think everything's happened there. Nobody was seriously injured, as we should say. No cars were destroyed. Maybe a little bit of pride or ego, but other than that, Chris Lynn will live to see another day, and thankfully, if you're in that 11 camp leading right now, you're thinking, oh, she's going to live to see another lap.
Well,
because that could have been big time right there, Chris.
That's what I'm saying. Wondering if the 11's going to break that silence. I don't know. Maybe not. I haven't really been keeping up with the Thunderdome here the last couple of days, but I haven't seen Caitlin.
Oh my gosh, man! The Thunderdome is hard to keep up with.
Yeah,
I typed
really
a message
is.
in there, and then came from like downstairs like 5 minutes later, and like 200 messages had been typed, and I was like, you know what? I'm just not even going to try anymore.
Yeah, so
like the Thunderdome is so crazy now. There's so many drivers. Last year it was just the same couple people getting mad at each other. It was almost like it was just like a family reunion every Wednesday night, and everybody was just kind of like the drunk family reunion where everybody's fighting. That's what it felt like. It was just fun, Now it's just like goodness gracious. It's still fun, but it's like at what cost? I have to read like 700 messages. The Thunderdome pops off now. I love it. I've been in there trying to keep up with the lore.
Yes, wonder if that 11 would have anything to say. I know I would be saying, hey man, you see me coming up in that rear view. Might want to watch out because, like we said, it worked out for her in her favor this time. But you don't get that dice roll every time.
I was about to say, that, Chris. You only get a certain amount of luck every race before Lady Luck decides to come down and say, all right, you've had enough.
You see the 07 of Jonathan Coombs get out of the way of the 81. Man, a lot of good-looking race cars out here tonight. say that 33 machine, that paint scheme looks really good. I like that purple and yellow. As we'll see Ken Baum get back out on the track in fourth spot, only lost 2 positions. He knows everybody in front of him has to come down pit lane. So we know also Ken Baum is kind of a strategy guy like that 81 of Josh Susi. So that's something that we're going to watch out for, is that 81, and see what he tries to play here. See how long he goes before he comes down pit lane. We know there's been a couple of races that we've seen people come down twice, 3 times. He doesn't come down at all. So that's just something, it just goes to show you that 81, once he gets one of those nitro setups underneath him, that's all he needs.
Do they got windshield wipers for the next gen cars yet? We need to get some dang rain on one of these road courses. That's what I want. Doesn't look like it.
Actually, that might be the windshield wiper down there.
I don't see nothing.
I'm trying to see if I can see.
Oh, dude, go back to the blimp cam. I can see it from there. Nah, there's no wiper there.
It's just the hood. It's just that hood scoop.
Oh, you would see it dead through the middle of the windshield.
Yeah.
You'd be sitting right there on the front window, my friend. My friend, goodness gracious. I went to say feller and friend at the same time.
Right now, this is your closest battle for position. That 9 machine and that 27 of David Smill. Looks like Kyler McCarthy might be having a little bit of an issue. I see he has went off track. Actually, as I say that, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 notifications of off track since I said that. So that just goes to show you, sometimes you just can't keep up with it.
Yeah, it's dang near impossible to try to keep up with the crash reports. Is the 11 going to pull up on Robbie Bice there? I think that's the second time we've seen her pull up on Robbie Bice here tonight, and she's going to drive it off. Whoa, we saw those rocks flying out, that new dynamic rubble that they have on the track. I want to say that was just added very recently.
Very recently, not too long ago. Well, there it was. You had like tire,
yeah, but they just added where
like
over time rocks will build up on the track and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a very recent. If you drive off track so many times,
you saw that though as she was coming through the last turn. Did you saw the rocks? That was pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's the first time I've seen it do that. You don't really ever get to see anything like that from inside the cockpit, so it's pretty much a useless setting unless you're driving like an open wheel car maybe. But seeing it from outside in a stock car, it looked pretty cool, because at first I thought the car was sparking. I was like, what the heck? Then you see it when they go off into the gravel right there. It's a big old gravel track on the rumble strip there coming out of the last corner. Dude, the rear wheels were locked up there for Michael Zuber. Did you see that?
I did.
Bro had the e-brake on.
I was just watching the difference in lines there. Michael Zuber taking really wide. What was I say that?
Kevin Click gonna dump the 25. Or not the 25,
Drift.
excuse me, the 96.
Tokyo Drift, the 96, but he's gonna keep it straight at least. Man.
Zuber said something, and Kevin Click said you turned right into me. So apparently they both saw that differently. I don't know how I saw it.
So see,
Go back on board here with this, Chris. We finally got some action. We got some people talking over the radio. Well, I don't know. I think I got to put that one on Zuber. From that perspective, it looked like he turned in, but we got to see it from a... Let's see. I mean, he's got the run here. I mean, I don't know, man. I think Zuber has to expect with that run that Kevin Click got, he can't really turn in as much. I mean, yeah, he might have been clear there for a moment, but I think that's more or less a racing incident. I wouldn't put that on either of them. And I know we talked about that before the season, Chris. Let's try to be a little bit more biased, try to, call it like we see it instead of being the friendly guys, but I got to be friendly on this one. I think that was just a pure racing incident. You can't call the blame on anybody there. You don't want it to happen if you're Zuber. You definitely don't want it to happen if you're Kevin Click. That's for sure. You don't want to be wrecking nobody, and you don't want to be getting wrecked. So just got to put that one off as literally the term accident. It's cool seeing all those rocks fly everywhere.
As right now, that is the 12 of Jimmy Barr, who is currently in between that Joshua Gaiman and David Mill machine, or is that
no, Joshua Gaiman was just alive into that second to last corner.
Right on board here with Joshua Gaiman. Just watch his point of view here. Going into turn one, you're going to see Jimmy Barr just go ahead and say, nah, man, we ain't fighting. I'm just going to go ahead and get over here in the lane, slow it up.
I want you to know, bro, that Kaylin Height is still running the same laps that she ran at the start of the race. 136s. She has not pitted. Ken Baum on fresh tires is running 137.38 last lap. She is still faster than everybody in the field on 26-lap old tires, Chris.
Ken Baum did not take tires.
Oh, did he not? Did he not? Okay, he just took fuel. So I'm assuming then they do have to come in and take fuel. Man, this 32 is racing this 11 hard. I'm assuming from earlier. Not sure why the 32 would feel like he needs to give that back.
Not really sure what's going on here.
Well, that's just absolutely going to kill the 11's run right here. I think that's a little uncalled for there from the 32. But if that's how he feels, that's how he feels.
Yeah, I'm not really
sure.
You're
the 11 and you're trying to take your gas stop. I think now's the opportunity.
Yeah. As you said, Josh, do the same thing. I would just go ahead, pull it down pit lane, get away from that that 32 if it's causing you any issues.
Yeah, because Chris Lynn must not be happy. I'm assuming it was the wreck there we saw. I want to say that's turn 16. I know I've been just saying second to last turn. I don't have my own track map pulled up. That's me being a goofball. But do see the 32 there. Not happy with the 11. And that's sometimes how it be.
As you saw him pull out of the way.
Chad Ingle, Brett Perigo, and Nick Cannon all have been out of the race. I just realized that from manual disconnection, and Nick Cannon dropped due to upload packet loss.
Yeah, so I am expecting to see the Thunderdome. I'm expecting to see the 11 in the Thunderdome tonight. As it looks like just a gas and go for that 11 machine. Like I was saying earlier, Josh, also Ken Baum did not take tires on that pit stop, so just a gas and go for him as well. So if that 11 machine can put down the same lap time that she was doing this entire race, then she could catch Ken Baum here by the end of the race. Because if Susie and Gaiman do have a mega strategy and they can make it on fuel, then that's going to be who you're battling for right now is that first and second spot. But if they come down pit lane, this is just, as I was saying that, Joshua Gaiman coming down pit lane. So Susie going to stay out on the track. Ken Baum has got, and Josh, as I was saying that, as I was talking about that 11 machine having to catch Ken Baum, she had a 4.45 second gap between her and Ken Baum. She's already made up half a second off of him in just the lap that she's come out. So if she keeps putting it down, and as I say that, look at that, 3.8 now. So she might catch this Ken Baum machine. So Susie's going to have to really keep it underneath.
Look who's in front of her.
Oh, no.
Is he gonna keep it up, or is he gonna do a little bit of blocking here? It's all right. I've had my fun. We'll see. All right, looks like he did. He lifted out. Not gonna go for round 2. Chris Lynn's gonna say, "All right, I had my fun with you. Now get out of my sight, and you're allowed to pass here." 32 played some hardball. Now he's gonna play. All right.
Yeah, as I said that.
It might have been one of those things too. After it happened, he was like, "God dang it! Now I gotta let everybody pass me again. I gotta play nice guy again."
2 seconds though. She lost 2 seconds off of that.
Yeah.
That just goes to show you, just that little bit can make a difference. As I want to say, Nick Cannon. Did Nick Cannon manually disconnect, Josh? Is that who you said?
He didn't. Ooh, goodness, disconnected due to a upload packet loss.
Yeah, he just typed in YouTube chat and saying my PC crashed when my daughter turned on the living room light. No clue why.
Oh my goodness. That is very unfortunate. That's like how when we used to run a hairdryer, it would crash only certain parts of the house back before we moved. Chris, remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Turn
only
on
certain parts of the house,
and
or a vacuum cleaner, and only like my room and my brother's room would turn off. And it was weird. So like the rest of the house would be fine.
Doing anything like.
Or air fryers and certain plugs in the kitchen would throw breakers, dude. Yeah, so I definitely know what that's like, Nick. Hate that for you, man. Not the kid thing, but, you know, power getting flickered.
As Josh, as I'm saying that though, it looks like Caitlin's put on half a second. So I mean, it's gonna have to be just a Hail Mary. Just go as hard as you can and not really hold anything back. We saw Chris Lynn did hold her back just a little bit there, but she's slowly making up just a little bit of time. Maybe Ken Baum is just having to go on a little bit of conserve now. We do know that he did come down pit lane at least 6 laps before Caitlin did. So that's gonna really make or break that lap time, because you know they're still racing on the same tires, but how much tire did Ken Baum use to keep up with Caitlin? That's the question. Or how much tires did Caitlin use and Ken Baum didn't use? You know, that's the joys of racing.
Well, we know she's used those rears up now a bunch with that spin she had. She's not going to have as much forward bite off the corner, that's for sure. We'll have to see.
She's made up a second though, so far.
Yeah, but that definitely did kill her run there. A lot of momentum was lost from that.
Josh Susie hasn't come down.
If she keeps up the performance, so it'll be exciting to see what she's got to say about the whole situation. And Josh Susie hasn't pitted yet, has he?
No, he has not.
Josh Susie and his no pitting strategies, dude. I don't understand this guy. If he goes all the way without pitting, we're going to have to, like, implement an actual law where it's like you have to pit at least once. Josh Susie, you're a demon, dude. We don't understand it.
Yes, we'll have to see how long. I was going to say how long he decides to stay out, or if he decides to come in at all. That's the real question. Like I said, I can't remember which race it was. I want to say it was Bristol. I think it might have been Bristol. Never touched as I'm speaking. Josh Susie down pit lane. So this is going to allow Ken Baum to catch up now. But if Susie can get down and have a good pit stop, he could possibly get out and set himself up. As we see Ken Baum still on pit lane right now, so this is going to allow Ken Baum to assume the lead. Here with 10 laps to go. And Caitlin Height, she is about to get around that 81 machine. She does. You see Josh Susie pulling his way out of pit lane right now. So just a gas and go also for that 81 machine. So now that 11 of Caitlin Height, she didn't have anybody behind her. Now she's got to look in that rear view and fend off that 81, because we know Susie is about to be on a tear to try to get back up here into at least second place. Because right now, Caitlin still got about 5 seconds between her and Ken Baum. That hold up there from the 32 really, really hurt him. Excuse me, hurt her. I was going to say Chris Lynn down pit lane right now for 3 minutes, 32 seconds. Whoa, lock up there from the 2. Might allow the 11 to make up a little bit of ground. But like I said, it's stuck about 5 seconds, and that's where it's been. Susie about 2.5 seconds off of Caitlin, so we'll see. We'll sit and watch this gap and see if it closes in any at all, but about 3.7 seconds is the gap between Susie and Gaiman, so 33 going to have to make up a little bit of space as well. Kevin Clicks moved himself back up into the top 5. You see David Smill now in 6th spot. William Brown in 7th.
in lap traffic?
Yes, he is. A lot of lap traffic.
That interval was coming down big time between him and Caitlin, almost a full second, but now it's gone back up. I love how you see the S there, but you can see the tire line straight.
Yeah.
Even if there's an S. I love that. That's a fun little section right there, man. You can pick up a lot of speed there.
Ooh. This is Kyler McCarthy going another lap down.
You know, with as many of these teams and factions and stuff in here, I've been thinking every time a Nitro or Lady Liberty car gets pulled up on by a Turn 2 Terribles car now, are they going to duke it out? And it looks like it might just be personal between one-sided. I don't think the 11 necessarily was really angry. I think the 32 just, you know, it happens when you're, especially on a track like COTA, man, a big handful track. You get frustrated. You just got turned around. That car comes back around the next time. Yeah, I'm going to put my bumper into him. I'm going to do whatever I can to piss that person off. And then sometimes it might be a little bit unnecessary in the moment. And I think at that moment it was just one of those that Chris Lynn just, you know, maybe overreacted, and it happens. It happens sometimes, but you still got to hate it for the 11, man. She was on such a good tear here tonight, and that seemed to really, really halt her race here with 7 to go.
Yeah, she's now got it under 4.5 seconds.
8 to go, sorry.
To Ken Baum. But with, like you said, Josh, 8 laps to go, does she have what it takes to put it out on the track? We know she's been running faster lap times than Ken Baum, but how much has Ken Baum been sandbagging? We see she's
almost gained a full second now.
She's almost gained a full second. As we were saying that, you see Ken Baum is now slowly starting to come up into her front windshield. But it's going to be this lap traffic in front of her. Is she going to be able to manage this lap traffic, or is it going to be a hold up like that 32? We also can't count out Josh Susie. Still about 2.5 seconds back, but he's still back there. So you can't forget about that 81. Even though they're on the same team, you still can't count them out. Well, I say same team. Sister teams, not same team, but same faction, I guess you can say. As I've already got my tent set up in the Thunderdome, I am just going to camp this one out. I am ready to see what's going to happen. But right now, as we were saying, Ken Baum still about 4 seconds up on Caitlin. So with 7 laps to go, this is going to be where she's going to have to just take the gloves off and go. Oh, is the 12 of Jimmy Barr. See a lock up there. You should see him. Should see him get out of the way after they get through the S's. We know Jimmy Barr is one of those drivers that whoa, as I say that, goes really wide there. but we did see him move out of the way earlier, so still about a 4.5 second gap now. As I say that, though, well, I don't know, Josh.
It is one of his teammates leading the race right now, Chris.
It is. It is.
But if I'm that 11 man, I'm in get the hell out of my way mode. Honestly, I'm knocking everybody out the way. But she's probably thinking too at the same time, do I go out there and make every Turn 2 Terribles driver have a target on my back next week? And she's going to get around there. Jimmy Barr's going to let her around. Yeah, that's Jimmy Barr, excuse me.
Yeah, but that gap stretched out to 5.5 seconds now. Whoa, is Jimmy Barr into the inside wall? Oh,
goodness, dude. Jimmy Barr just died. Oh, man. Well, you served your mission correctly, Jimmy. You held her up for half a second, and then you absolutely piss-missiled it into the front stretch wall. How that race car is still driving straight is beyond me, dude. Oh, my God.
Well, Josh, we said that she lost a second. She's gained it back.
Yeah, it definitely seems like if the circumstances have gone a little bit differently tonight, she would be up there, if not in the lead. Right there. Definitely right there. It's still possible. Still plenty of time for it to happen here at lap 35 or 40.
It takes,
like you said, it is
2
just
seconds.
one corner.
1 corner, 2 seconds.
Gotta hope the cards fall your way. And if you're the 11, it doesn't feel like that's probably going to happen for you tonight. But got to just be optimistic, and we'll see what happens here. Because, as much as I respect Ken Baum as a driver, it could be one of those things, Chris. He could have a big mistake here. Anyone could happen. Or it can happen for anyone, and it can happen anywhere on this track at COTA. Just got to hit your P's and Q's. But I think Ken Baum right now has got himself set up for a race win here tonight.
Yeah, still got about a 4.5 second gap between him and Caitlin, and then Susie is now closing that gap up on her. He is now almost under a second behind that 11 machine. So this is where you're going to see, is the Nitro camp gonna pounce the Lady Liberty camp, or can Caitlin hold off that 81, or if it's just going to be a cruise fest here from here on out? Maybe she's like, I'm not going to be able to catch Ken Baum, so we'll just kind of cruise here and take what we can get.
Overshot turn 1 there a little bit, like she was really trying to get a big drive in, but still somehow gained a little bit of time down the hill. But it just seems like it's going to be stagnant here, Chris, at this 4.8 gap. Just not able to reel him in the rest of the way. You really got to think it's that. You really got to think it's the rear tires when she spun around there.
Yeah, it just ate the equipment up. I think you avoid what happened there between that 32 machine. You're setting up for a possible win, possibly pushing Ken Baum out of the way. Oh, as you see the 95 and the 83 getting out of everybody's way. This is going to allow her to kind of open up the door between her and Susie. That 95 still in between them. You can see him go a little wide there. Susie
Dakota's Coon said, "I'm Turn 2 Terribles, but I'm not a part of what happened earlier. Leave me alone. I'll let you guys go, please."
Oh, as you're even hearing it from the guys themselves.
Oh, no, he didn't say that. He didn't say that, no. I was saying that was probably what he was thinking.
That's what you were saying.
No.
Okay.
Trust me, if he said that, Chris, I would have been crying laughing.
I thought that's what I was. I thought
4 laps, dude. I'd be dying.
Okay, cool.
No. Trust me. I would be dying too. That would be funny. But it's whatever, man.
Yeah, still 4
and
seconds.
Again, I don't want, if Chris Lynn watches back, I don't want him to think I'm throwing any shade his way. I understand racing. I understand the frustrations of racing. I'm not saying anyone is a horrible person or anyone was right or wrong here tonight. I will say it was racing. It happened. We called it like we saw it, and we're going to continue on. But, Chris, if you do get this far and you haven't already wanted to send me a hate letter, I do apologize if I maybe said something that would offend you. I don't think I did, but hey, I understand it's racing. I understand your frustrations when you're out there in the race car, and hopefully you get it gathered back up, and we'll see you run strong here again soon. But we'll get back up on board here with Caitlin Height, Josh Susie, Chris. We were talking about Ken Baum a moment ago, maybe possibly messing up, but not really much anything going on here. As it looks like Ken Baum Jr. is doing a good job here maintaining this lead.
Yeah, it looks like the gap between Caitlin and Josh right now is still about a second and 0.2 off. So it doesn't look like he's really trying to push that issue just yet. We've still got 3 laps to go, as I say. Should be 2 laps to go when Ken Baum crosses the line here. Nope, it is 3 laps this time, by. So we'll see if he can navigate this lap traffic. It looks like
this is going to be Caitlin's best chance.
Yeah. These guys don't want to go a lap down. I mean, we know Kip Easley, he's going to get out of the way. He's never...
Who is that up in the front of the S? I'm not sure. I can't tell. The 83 of Aaron Staub?
No,
it is. And
20...
You sure? That's the 83 of Aaron
Looks
Staub.
like the 29 of Jeremy...
No, that's
excuse me. Sorry.
Oh, that's the 20. How did I see that as an 83, man?
That's the 20 of Troy Wagaman Jr.
I'm blind. Man, there are Turn 2 Terribles drivers everywhere. I just realized they got a big team.
They do. They have a big team. As we said,
I didn't realize that. Goodness gracious.
This might be her best chance. Looks like Ken Baum has pretty much navigated that lap traffic easily. This has actually opened up the door for Susie. He has moved himself up into striking range now. He's only 0.7, as I say, at 0.6 off of Caitlin now, so she's got to stay on her P's and Q's if she wants to keep this second position, because he is starting to close that gap. And this lap traffic's about to come into play, so we'll see if these drivers get out of the way respectfully, or if they put the block on.
Got to expect at this point of the race, drivers like George Wood, man, he's just probably ready to get out of here. He's been doing a really good job of just letting everybody kind of drive past there tonight on that inside lane. To give up on Troy Wagaman Jr., who was having a really good run here, Chris, early in the season at Daytona.
Hey, Josh.
Hey, Chris.
3-second gap now between Caitlin and Ken Baum. She just got to navigate this lap traffic.
But
that's the only thing. She's got to navigate this lap traffic.
I think we might be seeing a team rivalry form here in front of our eyes, Chris. Just want you to know that.
As you see the 20, Wagaman Jr., he's going to go ahead and just go wide there, let that 11 go around. We see her pulling up to the 8, Kip Easley. But I want to say, Josh, that gap is still about 3 seconds. So if Ken Baum was to have like a hiccup where he gets sideways and has to, downshift,
he could be really sandbagging here now, not putting full throttle into it all. No pun intended. As the white flag will be out, it could be one of those Ken Baum Sunday driving right now. He's doing what he's got to do to make speed, but he's not forcing the issue. He doesn't possibly want to, go out there and wreck the car trying too hard. She's gotten the gap down a whole nother second, but just right now, it just seems like it's going to be Ken Baum Jr. unless he has some utter mistake.
Susie a little loose coming out of turn 1. See if she can have anything to say here on this last lap. Still 3.5 seconds out from Ken Baum. Susie, though, right on that back bumper of that 11 machine. So we'll see. As I say that, the 8, he's going to go ahead, pull down there, just let that 81 get around. Gentleman move there from that 8 machine. Whoa, is 81 getting a little out there on that strip? He's going to get a little sideways. It's going to open up the gap for her. Well, as I say that, it looks like she got a little sideways.
Nothing better than seeing Robbie Bice on a road course. Because I know he hates it just as much as I would hate it right now. As we are coming up to the checkered flag here, Chris, it looks like that 3.8 second gap is not going to get any smaller here coming to the finish. As the checkered flag is going to wave, Ken Baum Jr. will take your race win here tonight. As it will be Caitlin Height in that second place with Joshua Susie in that third position, rounding out your podium positions. But we will ride on board here with that number 2 machine as he takes his victory lap around Circuit of Americas.
Did you see that 11 pulling up to the 2, giving the thumbs up?
Give him a rev. I was about to say, give him a rev. I'm excited to hear. I'm excited to hear these interviews.
I am very. Oh, those banana curbs now just up. Now we can hit them. Yeah, you are correct, Josh. That is something I am ready. We know Ken Baum is happy to be back in victory lane.
Hey, this is the most fun I've heard come out of the mics, though, in the driver chat. Nobody's mad at each other at the end of the race, possibly. Besides, what we could have. Not sure what's going on in the 11 driver's mind there. We'll have to see how Caitlin's feeling.
As I'm seeing Nick Cannon say in the chat, turn 2 terribles and Nitro populate 7/8 of the league. See Susie.
That's Kid Bomb doing just burnouts all over the track, man. He's been drifting this car here, having a fun time. As he's back in victory lane here in 2025, Chris, for Full Throttle. And it's got to be one of those wins early in the season for Ken Baum, coming off back-to-back championships. It's one of those things when you go for a three-peat. Sometimes it can go bad for you. You feel like you go to win a race all throughout the season and can't grab one. Well, he's going to grab one here early and set that momentum. Ken Baum Jr. is going to be your race winner here tonight, as he's going to get the rest of this burnout going down the front stretch. It sounds like he might have just blew up unless I heard another car. No, he definitely didn't blow up. He's still rolling here. Might as well go through your post-race results here before we get to your 3 interviews. Waiting on the man to get in the booth to get his interview. It is Ken Baum Jr. going to take home tonight's race win. Caitlin Height, you got to feel like if you're an 11 fan, she might have been robbed here tonight, and she's going to pick up that second place. I know Nick Cannon feels that way in the Thunderdome. He said that. I'm stealing his words, so that's right there from him. As we'll see Josh Susie pick up third here tonight. Joshua Gaiman, he's going to pick up fourth. Kevin Click going to pick up fifth here tonight with William Brown in sixth. David Smill in seventh with Carson Pittman eighth. Brett Strickler ninth with Jeremy Zarfos 10th. Lucas Noges 11th. Michael Zuver 12th. Kip Easley 13th. Kyle McCarthy 14th. Matthew Fitz 15th. Ryan Smith 16th. Andrew May 17th. Hobart 18th with Jonathan Coombs 19th. Wagaman Jr. going to finish 20th with George Wood in 21st. Daniel Holdcroft 22nd. Aaron Staub 23rd. Robbie Bice 24th. Stan Mayberry 25th. Dakota Kuhn 26th. Jimmy Barr 27th. Josh Markle 28th. Chris Lynn 29th. Nick Cannon 30th. Brett Parigio 31st. Chad Engel 32nd. Shane Weldon 33rd. And Stephen Auberstock going to round out your field. We're going to go ahead and bring up your first interview of the night. Race winner, Ken Baum Jr. Ken Baum Jr., Chris, and Josh up here in the booth. Do you got a copy, sir?
Yeah, I got you.
Ken. Well, it seemed like one of those nights there early, man, where you and Caitlin were gonna be nose to bumper. It seemed like pretty much all night, and then we got through the pit cycles. We had a little bit of incidents there with the 11, but we'll speak on your race here tonight. Ken, take us through it, man. It seemed like you guys had a very, very good race car. You were able to, keep pace. Was it a little bit of sandbagging, or was you just running authentic pace there at the start? That was one thing that I think we really had to question is what was the pace feeling like? And from your perspective, how was the pace of that race? Were you pushing there early, or was you kind of holding on to just kind of apply that pressure there and maybe wait for a mistake? And how do you think the rest of the race turned out for you guys? And did you think you were going to be walking home with that race win here tonight?
Well, it was a a good race. The fact that I didn't get the pole kind of put I had to do something, and it was either get the lead off of turn one on the first lap or ride around in second until pit stops or wherever I am in the field to get clear track to run by myself. But yeah, it worked out. I feel like I was better on the second half of the track than the first half. So I would lose a little time in the first half, gain it all back up, and then as soon as we hit the front stretch, I couldn't make a run for it if I wanted to anyway. So I just held my station, and for like 5 laps, I was like, I'm gonna pit, and then we got up to a group of like 5 or 6 lap cars, and I was like, we caught him right when we got to the last turn, and I was just like, I should have pitted that lap, so I pitted the next lap, and it just cycled through to me. Not sure exactly how it did yet, but I'll find out when I review the tape.
Yeah, it was definitely one of those races, Ken, that seemed like, it could have been anyone's finish here tonight. But, in that typical two fashion, you come out here early after the back-to-back championship season. It's got to be one of those things when you get that first win off your back of the 2025 season and get it off your back early, that now the rest of the season's got to feel a little bit better. Going into Phoenix next week, where you won the championship last year, how are you feeling that the two machines going to wind up there next week? And what are we expecting when we go into Phoenix with you next week?
Yeah, it's nice because the last 2 seasons I've started on the pole here and finished second. And so this year I start second and finish first. It's only book ending. But yeah, I did win the championship there the last 2 seasons at Phoenix, and I've also won the spring race both years at Phoenix. So we should have a good hot ride under us, and we'll just have to see how it goes. There's a lot of new faces, a lot of new talent, and some of them are pretty quick. So you got to be on your toes.
Well, Ken, it's been very exciting to have you up here in the booth, man. We're excited to have you again as a race winner here early in the season. And man, if you've got any final thoughts, final words, thoughts, shout outs, anything before we let you get out of there, you're more than welcome to throw them out there. We'll let you get on your way.
Yeah, just like to thank the Turn Two Terribles racing team. We're kicking ass like we've done the last couple seasons. So we're just going to continue to keep doing that. Jeremy Zarfis Photography, the Turn Two Terribles podcast. Word from my girlfriend and my little baby girl that are probably not watching. They're probably sleeping by now.
Well, again, thank you, Ken, for having a word with us up here in the booth. Excited to see what you guys are bringing to Phoenix next week, and we're hopefully going to have a word with you here soon. Again, congratulations, Ken, and enjoy the rest of your week.
Yeah, hope to talk to you next week. Take care.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And that was Ken Baum Jr. Chris, I think a lot of fans, drivers as well, are excited to hear this. We're going to bring up our second place interview and have a word with Caitlin Height. Caitlin Height, Chris, and Josh in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Gotcha, big dog.
Man, Caitlin, well, I think first things first, we're going to have to just start off here with the hot topic. Clearly, the main topic of the race is you seemed like you had the car to beat here tonight. Very, very fast, very smooth inputs all night. Not a lot of lockups, not a lot of anything. But then there, coming up to that lap car, we had that 32 of Chris Lynn. The issue there coming through the second to last corner. I don't even remember what lap it was on. But after that, we thought, okay, all over, it happened, whatever. Coming back, we saw the rest of the incidents. Take us through what you feel like that does to your race car there, and do you think if that doesn't happen, you clearly go home tonight with the race victory?
Well, first off, I want to give a shout out to Ken. He was racing hard, keeping me honest all through that first half. He did a great job at keeping the car underneath him, keeping pace. It was going to come down between the two of us. I know all in all, it cost me 8-9 seconds worth of time dealing with somebody 3 laps down. Karma. That's really what it's going to come down to.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess that's what it's gonna have to be then, Caitlin. We hear what you said about it. I mean, for sure though, it definitely seemed like with the 8 seconds, all the time taken up, it did seem like though you were the car to beat, and unfortunate things do happen here on these road courses. We hate it for you up here in the booth. We know it was one of those things that it sucks from a driver's perspective. We understand it, but yeah, for sure. Take us through what you think we're going to see from you guys next week at Phoenix. We know it's a great racetrack going into. How do you feel going into Phoenix, and what are we expecting from the 11 camp next week?
It's been a while since I've really hit Phoenix, so I'll see how it's going to play out first. I don't know, actual proper oval race of the year, so I'll see what the guys over at Nitro Setups have been cooking up here and just go from there, and hopefully we can be up towards the front, have a clean car, and minimize any sort of chicanery.
Well, Caitlin, it's been a pleasure having you up here in the booth. Again, thank you for taking time out of your night to have a word with us, and we'll be hopefully talking to you next week at Phoenix. If not, we'll hopefully be seeing you here soon up in the booth. Again, congratulations on the night that you did have, and hopefully we'll be talking to you here in the future.
Here's hoping. Thanks for putting everything on, and yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry. If you've got any final words, thoughts, or shout outs, sorry, I completely forgot about that part. You're more than welcome to throw them out, and then we'll let you get on your way, Caitlin. Sorry about that.
Yeah, well, thanks for putting on the production here, everybody involved with the admin work here at Full Throttle Performance. The Lady Liberty Nitro setup, loudmouth, whatever conglomerate you want to call it, for always sort of bringing some pretty good equipment. And I guess I'll thank Skillshare for sponsoring this video.
Yeah, well, Caitlin, again, thank you for having a word with us here. And now we'll let you get on your way and hopefully be seeing you here in the future.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that, Chris. I said that, and then I was like, wait, did I give her final offering at words here? And then I was like, oh crap, I didn't. All right, well, we're gonna go ahead and bring up our third and final interview of the night, Joshua Susie. Josh, Susie, Chris, and Josh up here in the Full Throttle booth. Do you got a copy?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Man, Josh, I think out of everybody here tonight, you're going to be the one interview that's like, well, Ken's wasn't bad or anything. Obviously, he didn't get involved in anything, but you're going to be the one guy we're just like, hey, good race, man. You didn't get involved in too much out there, and you kind of just hung out, and you started third, finished third. It seemed like you guys had a fast car. Did you think there at any moment it was going to be one of those, oh crap, Josh Susie is going to pull one of those crazy strategies, we're going to win this race, or was it just comfortable with that third place finish here tonight?
No, I got screwed over by Brett Circler too much to make up the difference.
Oh shoot, I didn't even see that. I'm so sorry. Yeah, there was so much going on there in the front, the back. We were going through the field. I didn't even see that, Josh. I do apologize about that. I
No,
didn't even know
it's
about
all
that.
good. It's just, it was stupid. The first like 14 laps until they finally shipped him in the final corner. He was chop blocking me every chance he had and
Okay.
just killing our pace. Like racing me like it's the last 5 laps of the race. And what are you doing? It just let the leaders go 10 seconds. And like, I got it back down to what, 4 or 5 there at the end, but I couldn't overcome it. If it wasn't for that, and then the unfortunate shenanigans with Caitlin and the lap car, which cost her probably a good 6 seconds. You know, the three of us could have had a hell of a heads up race. Different points of the run, we were quicker than each other, and overall our average was really close. So it would have been a hell of a battle. But you know, you get all that stupid stuff on the track with other people, it ruins it.
Heck yeah, man. Like I said, I feel like I didn't even know what was going on back there. You guys were racing way harder than I thought it was. Every time we'd come back there, it seemed like you're all playing fair, but clearly the Susie machine was not happy. So man, take us through here. I guess then the rest of your night, you finished here pretty solid still in that third place position. You're going into Phoenix. You've kind of built some momentum up, missing the Daytona race and then coming in Atlanta, having a crazy finish there last week, everybody going all over the place. How do you feel going into Phoenix now? After all this mayhem, we've got so much what I feel is like built up drama now between some teams. How do you feel like going into Phoenix, we're going to see this Josh Susie machine unwind? And do you think we're going to get back to those winning ways, those top 5 ways, stay in these podium positions? What do you think is going to happen here?
Well, I definitely want to, keep keep shooting for the podium. Top 5 would be nice. We were solid last year, just a little off of Ken at Phoenix. Obviously, I didn't get to run the finale, but in the spring race, for whatever reason with his stat, he was just able to cut that dog leg, and it was, it was decent, and it didn't really upset his car. When I was trying to do it, and I mean, that's why I spun out early in the race, and yeah, just really upset the car. So hopefully that's not really an issue. I I don't really like cutting the dog leg anyway. I wish it was the old layout with the grass down there, so you didn't even have the choice, but. We'll have solid speed. Shoot for a top 5. Hopefully, have a little better set this time around. Try to learn a few things. Be a little more competitive with Ken. And yeah, I mean, whatever ding dongs on my team and the other team want to do with each other, I don't really care. Keep me out of it. Like I was talking to Ken in the post race, and we are so close and even on speed and run each other fair. We don't need help from other people. We'd rather straight up man to man, may the best driver win. And we don't get caught up in all that team shenanigan stuff. I'm gonna back my guys 100%, but you don't need any stupid stuff on the track to just ruin it for a bunch of people. Who the hell enjoys that?
Yeah, for sure. But hey, Josh, if you've got any final words, final thoughts, shout outs, anything before we let you get out of here, man, you're more than welcome to throw them out there. We'll let you get on your way. And seems like we've got a very exciting race going into Phoenix this week.
Yeah, as always, first and foremost, Nitro setups. We had bad fast, excuse me, piece this week. I think we got 2, 3, 4. And Smeal got in with the top 10 too, so we had plenty of speed. It was good practice for the team, good communication as usual. Thank all the admins for their hard work and everyone that showed up. We had a hell of a good field for road course. Usually that kind of dwindles it, but I told you we got a lot of people in the league now, and you're seeing some different players at the front. I warned you about Caitlin, and here she was tonight. So she'll still have speed next week, and hopefully she can get some redemption or more of a fair fight in the next road course. And appreciate y'all putting on the broadcast. I hope we made it interesting for you, and who knows what's going to happen from here going out, but tune in and find out.
Heck yeah. Well, again, thank you, Josh, for having a word with us up here in the booth, man. We're excited to see you guys at Phoenix next week. And hey, hopefully we'll be having a word with you there soon.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you. Have a good night, man.
Later.
I cut that perfect. That later was perfect. You know how perfect that cut, Chris? Beautiful. You couldn't have wrote that one better. But all right. Well, Chris, I think that's going to be pretty much from us tonight. Do you have any final thoughts before we let the fans go here tonight?
Yeah, just big shout out to Robbie, Fitz, everybody in the background that puts this on. The ability to be able to sit down, like I say every day, to be able to sit down and yell at a TV screen or monitor, whatever you want to call it, and be able to just sit and yell. They're going left, and they're going left again, or in this case, right and left. I really do appreciate Robbie and everybody that lets us do this. So, just a big shout out to everybody out there on the YouTube, everybody that tunes in and watches. If you aren't subscribed, subscribe, because this is starting to get a little crazy. You don't want to miss what's going on. So again, big shout out to everybody out on YouTube, out on everybody that out there that puts this together and makes this happen. So can't wait going into Phoenix next week.
All right. Well, I think that is going to be pretty much us up here, or from us up here then, Chris, excuse me. As man, this has been an exciting race here tonight. Excited to go in to Phoenix next week. And I think it's going to be a very exciting race, Chris, between some teams, as we definitely have some beef, as whatever Moonhead would say is that his name. As, we got beef on the track, but hey, other than that, it's going to be exciting. It's been a great night, and hey, we hope to see you there, Full Throttle Faithful. Thank you again on the YouTube for coming out once again tonight, having a word with us in the chat if you did. But other than that, that is going to be the Greasebeard Designs 40 here at Coda wrapping up, and we'll be saying thank you, good night, and hope to see you next week at Phoenix. Excuse me, I forgot what track we were going to. So be seeing you next week at Phoenix, Wednesday, 8 p.m. Good night, Full Throttle Faithful, and we'll be seeing you then.